means a body which is at rest. Remain rest forever. A body which is in motion with a velocity, it will remain with a constant velocity. That means to have an acceleration. Acceleration means change in velocity. An external force should act. As long as an external force is not acting on a body, if that is at rest, that will remain at rest. If that is going with a constant velocity, say for example, 10 meters per second, you kick the ball, that time you give a force. Okay, this is a fundamental idea. Here, suppose here there is a football, okay, at rest. Here you are exerting your force to this football. Suppose 10 kilogram and force exerted 10 Newton. Football gains an acceleration of 1 meter per second squared. That means in 1 second its velocity will increase 0 to, say for example, 1 meter per second, for example, in 1 second. Next 1 second, do you think automatically its velocity will increase?
No, sir.
No, again you have to exert same force.
Yes.
Then only again 1 meter per second, then it become 2 meter. At this point, again you exert 2 Newton. Then again it will be 3. Like that only it will go. That means once you give 10, it gain 1 meter per second velocity. Then don't think automatically it will. Then it's very easy, right? You can send an object any distance. Keep some place, give a hit. It will gain a velocity acceleration. Say for example, 10 meter per second. In 1 second, 10 meter gain. Again without hitting, it will automatically go 20. Again go to 30. Again go to 40. Automatically it reach wherever you want in the world. That's not happening, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then we don't need fuel in such case. But actually the idea, if you give a force, it gain an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. That means in 1 second, that will gain a speed of 1 meter per second. 1 second, it will cover 1 meter. Again, you have to exert the same force. Then only from there, again, same 1 meter per second increase in speed will come. That means 2 meters will cover. Again, if you give a same force, that will cover 3 meters. Because from that 1 to 2, 2 to 3, like that, it's increasing the velocity. Clear? If there is no force exerting, that increase won't be there. It gain 1 meter, every 1 second it will cover 1 meter. But if there is friction of air, it will decrease. If friction of air is not there, throughout, until a force acting onto it, that will keep 1 meter in 1 second, 1 meter in 1 second, like that. With a constant velocity, it will travel. This is a basic concept of this. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Newton's first law. Every method, no need to study up, put in a bracket. Not meant for the examination. Okay? Put a bracket like this and write. Not for exam. But we need to study this basic. Right. Newton's second law states that Newton's first law states that every material body remain in a state of rest. Every material body remain in a state of rest or uniform motion unless and until
Sir, every material body
remain in a state of rest or uniform motion unless and until an external force acting onto it. Unless and until an external force acting onto it. This law, next para, this law gives us the idea
sir,
of inertia.
excuse me, sir. Unless and until
An external force, unless and until an external force acting onto it. Yesterday we have discussed linear momentum, right?
No, sir.
No, okay, just finish it, then we'll go. unless and until an external force acting onto it. Right. This law gives us the idea of inertia. This law gives us the idea of inertia. For art integration, this inertia you can make use. Okay, there are a lot of activity out of inertia, like a magic or something like, pictures, sculptures, anything like. Yesterday I've sent you in the group, right? Which are the medium you can approach in art integration.
Yes, sir.
Anything you can use. By this vacation, you finish it, okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So Newton's first law gives us the idea of inertia. So it's known as law of inertia also, okay? Therefore, it's also known as law of inertia. Therefore, this is also known as law of inertia. There are many examples.
First law of motion.
First law of motion is also known as law of inertia. Look here. There are many examples, interesting examples. Suppose here you keep a very cloth, okay? Very nice cloth. Slipper. It should be easily slippery, okay? Like that one cloth you can keep here. And here you keep a glass and water in it, okay? Or anything. Over that you can keep another plate and keep a bottle. But try to make it heavier, okay? Fill water. Then suddenly pull the cloth. This will not, if you are pulling it quickly, this bottle or nothing will get disturbed. Clear? That quick movement. So this is because of inertia. It has a tendency to remain at rest. Similarly, suppose you are traveling you are in a bus. Okay, you just stand here in the bus. This is the place you can hold your hand, but you are just standing in bus is at rest. Okay, suddenly bus start moving. That means your feet will get a velocity of the bus. Head is not at the head is still at rest. So your feet will move, head will be here. So you will fall down, back. A moving bus suddenly stops. Then your feet will come to rest, but head will move. Then you will fall forward like this. You will fall forward, isn't it? So this is the examples of inertia we can say. Another thing we can say on the top of the, this one, bus, you are keeping some luggages. A bus suddenly start moving, this luggages will be thrown back. Similarly, a moving bus suddenly stop, all these luggages will fall forward. Many examples you can see like that, okay? And another example you can see, small animals and all when you're trying to catch, they will not run straight, especially rabbit, this hare in the forest. Zigzag. That means if you're trying to catch, it's very difficult. Our body may be 100 kilo. That may be just 1 kilo or something like that. So that will suddenly change the direction. We cannot move that faster. That's because of inertia. Clear? So this idea of inertia. Right now. Next slide, inertia. Inertia can be defined as the incapacity of a body. Inertia can be defined as the incapacity of a body. Inertia can be defined as the incapacity of a body to change the state of rest, to change the state of a body, state of motion. Inertia can be defined as the incapacity of a body to change its state of motion, by its own.
So motion by its
own, O-W-N. The two types of inertia are, inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Inertia of rest and inertia of motion. Okay, so inertia of rest, a body which is at rest has a tendency to remain at rest. Clear? Similarly, a body which is in motion has a tendency to remain in motion until a force acting onto it. So this is inertia. Is it clear?
Yes.
This inertia we can see in our throughout our life, this property. It's not only an object. See, for example, after exam, you keep on studying daily for exam. The day exam gets over, you may think, okay, I will play just after exam. That night I will enjoy like that. But most of the time what happens? After the exam that day evening, you will play, but you will have a guilty feel. Most of us, those are studying. The reason, every day we are studying. Suddenly when we stop, we feel like we haven't done something, we have committed some mistake, something like that we didn't do. That's because of your inertia of learning.
Yes, sir.
After vacation, you feel very lazy. That everyone has to go to school or job because you're in inertia of rest. So this inertia, this property everywhere in the world, everywhere in the universe. Is it clear? Not, but we are studying specifically the motion, but otherwise you can observe in your life also. So what you practice, that practice will continue. That's actually inertia. Clear? So that examination point of view, you cannot write that examples, but here I'm telling you that inertia you can observe every mode of life. Clear? Right.
Yes,
now, here we said inertia, there are two types, inertia of rest, inertia of motion. Okay, now for examples, what kind of question can be asked based on this? Let us see. I'll put some examples. Okay, look here. Simple examples I told you. A person in a bus suddenly falls back, bus moves because of inertia of rest. Okay, his head is at rest, feet is in motion now. Similarly, a moving bus suddenly stops, he falls forward because of that, because he's in inertia of motion. So that you can identify. But few more examples I will tell you. You tell me. Those who know already this question, you don't answer, others answer. I mean, those who attended my any other classes, don't answer this. Suppose, see, this is a empty tin. This is a full tin, complete. It's full of liquids. Maybe Pepsi, imagine like that. Okay, it's suspended. To bring into motion, in this case, you have to exert more force, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I would
sir.
push both of them into 4 centimeter displacement compared to this point.
Yes, sir.
When,
Yes, sir.
then it's oscillating in equal amplitude. But which one will come to rest?
The one which is filled with fluid, sir.
Which one will comes more force? Lighter one you gave less force. That's the reason you brought them into same displacement. But after releasing, air only exerting force. Air exerting same force to both. That means compared to him, both of them have same force. But this required more force to stop also. That means he will come to rest first, lighter one. This will take more time. This shows inertia is directly proportional to mass. More the mass, it's too difficult to change the state of motion.
So like car and truck.
Car and truck.
Yes,
Car is easy, comparatively easy to stop compared to truck. We can say even momentum, all of this related for that part. Clear? So a heavy person,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
if he's running, don't,
Yes, sir.
when you're trying to stop, it's not easy. Similarly, a lighter person running very fast also, you cannot go and stop him. Because that bringing to rest, we have to exert more force if his mass is more. Is it clear? If mass is more,
sir.
more force you have to exert.
Yes.
So we can say inertia is directly proportional to mass of the body. Right now, inertia is directly proportional to mass of the object. Inertia is directly proportional to the mass of the object. Inertia is directly proportional to mass of the object. Another question. Suppose here this train, okay? Yeah, the train. A train. And a person who is sitting here in the train. This train is at rest, velocity 0. This person throwing a stone upward. Where will it fall, that stone?
Down.
On his
That
head.
same
It will go up. It's a vertical motion. Suppose you're throwing with a 10 meter per second. In 1 second, it will reach maximum height and become velocity 0. Again, will come back to his hand in another 1 second. So in 2 seconds, it will come back to his hand itself.
Yes, sir.
Get out?
No.
No, sir.
So you're throwing with the 10 meter per second. In 1 second, it went up, gain velocity 0. it will fall back to his hand in 10 meter per second, in 1 second with the 10 meter per second. Freely falling back. Now, same train moving with a constant velocity. Okay, is going with a constant velocity.
Oh, that.
Now he is throwing the stone. What will happen to the stone now?
So
Where
it
will
will
it
fall
fall?
projectile motion. It will fall behind the
farther
train.
from.
Will fall behind, sir.
No,
It
it
will
will
fall
fall his
to
hand.
Because the
behind
speed of the
his
train is
hand
more,
only,
sir.
sir.
It will fall
to
same
hand.
like this body. Same like this body. The reason I will tell you. Suppose it is traveling with a 10 meter per second horizontal or 2 meter per second horizontally. You can say 2 meter per second horizontally. It's traveling. Train is traveling horizontally, isn't it? Now this man's velocity, this stone velocity, all are 2 meter per second. Which velocity?
Yes, sir.
Horizontally, not vertical velocity. Man is sitting inside the train. Velocity of the train is 2 meter per second. That person's velocity 2 meter per second. Stone also having 2 meter per second. So now it's already having 2 meter per second horizontal velocity. This stone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is 2 meter per second. That means if you release a stone, that can travel 2 meter in 1 second. And you will also travel 2 meter in 1 second. If it's thrown from here, okay, that will travel 2 meter per second in air. By the time you will also reach 2 meter. Clear? So actually a person who is standing outside, he will see like this. See, this is thrown upward with a 10 meter per second. That means 1 second it will reach maximum height. Same 1 second that will travel horizontally 2 meter. That means stone will reach here. That time you also will reach here. Next 1 second what happened? Stone will come down. But that stone will again cover how much? 2 meter in 1 second. That time you will reach here. So it will fall in your hand only. It's a projectile. Just after projecting, suppose when you are here, stone is here. 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 That means for you, always it's going up and down. Because wherever you go, stone is above you. Because that's also traveling with you. But a person standing outside the train, if you observe, you feel it's like a parabolic motion. And you are traveling in straight line. Down you will travel in straight line. Stone will go like this above you and fall on. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Simultaneously,
Yes, sir.
you will be traveling in this direction. Stone will be traveling in this direction. When you reach here, stone is here. When you reach here, stone is here. When you reach here, stone is here. So for you, it's up and down motion. Isn't it? Because both are having same velocity. Any doubt?
That's so relative
No,
to
sir.
us. The stone is at rest, right?
No,
I did not
Because
get it. What
we
is
both
that?
have. Sir, relative to us, the stone is at rest, right? Because
Sir,
we
I
both are
didn't
moving
get
the
this
same
first
Related
one,
to a stone
direction.
is at rest. Yeah, related to a stone is rest.
sir, I didn't get the first one, sir.
What is that?
Excuse me,
The
sir.
first one I didn't get, sir. That velocity equals 0.
Velocity zero means now itself you sit there and throw something above. What will happen? It will fall on your
It will
hand
fall down.
itself. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any confusion?
No, sir. I got it.
Now take a book and just throw up and see where it falls.
In which case the stone will go back.
Sir, down, sir.
I'll show you. Now the train, third case, okay? This train is traveling, okay,
Yes, sir.
with an acceleration. Acceleration, look here. He is sitting here. This man is sitting here and throwing the stone. Suppose this is going with a 2 meter per second squared acceleration. This is going. This time what happened? If he throw the stone, the time he releases the stone has 2 meter per second. You have 2 meter per second. The time it release. Is it clear? In 1
Yes, sir.
second,
Yes, sir.
stone reach maximum height. This time what happened? Horizontal velocity of the stone remains same. Because no more force acting, it's in air. But you are being pulled by the train. Your velocity will become 4 because acceleration is 4. 2.
Increasing.
Acceleration is 2. So in 1 second you become 2. Next 1 second you become 4. That means 2 seconds you cover 4 meter, but this will cover only 2 meter. Is it clear?
Yes,
Then
sir.
what will happen? It will fall behind you.
Behind.
Agreed? Similarly, if it's decelerating, also same problem. What happened after throwing the stone? Stone will travel more distance. Decelerating, you will travel less distance. So stone will fall in front. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So you can note down these examples. Question is like this: if a stone is
Sir,
uh,
sir, can we overcome this inertia?
we cannot overcome the inertia.
Sir, in space there is inertia.
Everywhere inertia is there.
Sir, in space also.
Yeah, everywhere. Why? Inertia is there everywhere. Suppose I'll tell you, you are traveling in an object in space. Okay, there is no gravity, there is no friction. There only it's more applicable. Here at least you won't notice because of friction of air, it won't go as per expected level. For example, a paper you are throwing, it will be thrown off with the wind, isn't it? In space, no wind, no gravity. In such cases, suppose if you're dropping something, wherever you go, that will also go with you.
Sir,
Suppose this is Earth. You are traveling in a satellite all around. Okay. Suppose you want to keep something outside here. You keep outside, that will also go around you.
So,
Yeah.
sir, if we break Earth's orbit and go into space, the spacecraft will travel at the speed which it
What is a breaking
exited
Earth
the
orbit? I did not get you that. What is a breaking
atmosphere,
Earth
sir.
orbit? Huh?
So, if we
Atmosphere.
go
Yes.
through the atmosphere, then the object will remain at constant speed.
After you mean beyond space means where you mean where there is no gravity or there is no air. What's your idea? You
No
mean the
gravity,
place where
nor
there is no
friction, sir.
gravity?
Yes, sir. And no friction, sir.
That will keep moving. There, inertia highly applicable.
Okay, sir.
Completely applicable.
Okay, sir.
Isn't it? Yeah. Because no other force is acting onto it. Right now. Now a problem. A person is traveling in a train. A person is traveling in a train, throwing an object vertically upward. A person is traveling in a train. A person is traveling in a train, throwing an object vertically upward. Where will the stone fall? Where will the stone fall with respect to the person? Where will the stone fall with respect to the person? In the following cases, where will the stone fall with respect to the person in the following cases? Case
Sir,
one.
a person traveling in a plane traveling vertically.
Throwing vertically. Throwing an object vertically upward. A person traveling in a train throwing an object vertically upward. Where will the stone fall with respect to the person? Where will the stone with respect to the person in the following cases? Case one. Case one. Case one. Train travel with a constant velocity, fall on his hand. Train travel with a constant velocity. Train travel with constant velocity. What will happen to the stone? Where will it fall?
On his hand, sir.
In his hand. In his hand. The reason? Velocity of the stone in 1 second. The person who covers a distance and the distance covered by the stone both are same. Is it clear? So it will fall on his hand. And bracket, you can put a note. The person outside the train feel like the stone traveling in a parabolic path. That also can be asked. The person who stand outside the train, it looks that's a stone traveling in a parabolic path. Any doubt? Okay, second case. No. Train is uniformly accelerated. Train is uniformly accelerated. Train is uniformly accelerated. train is uniformly accelerated. Then what happens?
Fall behind, sir.
Fall behind him, because just after leaving, that stone has the velocity, the time it released, but the man velocity increases because it's accelerated motion. Okay, so we can write it fall behind. Stone fall behind the person. Now we need reason. What is the reason? Just after releasing the stone, just after releasing the stone, the stone travels with a velocity. At that instant it is released. At the instant it is released. At the instant it is released. But velocity of the person and the train, are increased, is increased. The velocity of the person and the train is increased.
Sir, can you repeat?
At the constant?
This, please write along with me, okay? Because this, when I'm telling that sentence will change. Listen. The stone travels with the velocity at the instant it is released. The stone travels with the velocity at the instant it is released. But the person and the train are accelerated. Person and the train are accelerated. Okay, hence stone falls behind him. Now, third bit. If train is decelerated, if the train is decelerated, where the stone will fall?
Front, sir.
In the front.
Same answer like before, but how will you answer? The stone travels with the same velocity at the time it is released. But the person,
Sir, fake ID, sir. 54 Abdurrahman 11B5.
So here the stone travels faster and the person is decelerated. So he moves slower. Therefore, what happens? Stone fall in front of you. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Up to here, just introduction only required. Okay. Now onwards you start. Meant for the exam. Okay. Next part for the examination portion. Linear momentum.
Sir, can we rejoin?
Yes, that's better. That is rejoin. Rejoin. Okay. Linear momentum. Look here. Here we have a linear momentum. Actually, it is a product of, right now, linear momentum can be defined as the product of. Linear momentum can be defined as the product
Should
of.
we write, sir?
Yes. Then I will explain. Linear momentum can be defined as the product. Linear momentum can be defined as the product of mass and velocity. And there is a formula for it. Linear momentum can be defined as the product of velocity. Okay. Around 1,000 kilogram mass, traveling 0.01 meter per second. Its momentum will be 1,000 into 0.01. That means 10 kilogram meter per second. Okay. This way it goes. If you want to stop, same change opposing momentum you must bring to rest. Suppose a small stone, okay, 0.01 kilogram mass, traveling with 1,000 meters per second will have same momentum. That means this small bullet from a gun to stop, and this heavy train traveling very small velocity, same effort you have to put to bring to rest. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is actually a version of force, we can say. So don't think a body which is small cannot have much momentum. A body which is very small, if traveling with a very high velocity, definitely that will have high momentum. Okay, that's what a person, I told you, a heavy person who is running, if you try to stop, you may fall down. Similarly, a very slim person running very fast, also same effect. That means momentum is a product of mass and velocity.
Sir, what
I don't know, a
causes
few years back, there was an English movie came. Okay, this and all, you know, see, from there you will get idea of art integration. Film is a example, right? That movie you just see, Speed 2, and take some pieces of that, and you can make an art integration from that. You make your own version out of it. That movie shows momentum idea. Many English movies, you can say, an English movie is based on gravity, or movies based on this one. So you can make a small movie, film. It's interesting,
Sir,
right?
what
For
causes
6.
inertia?
Pardon?
Sir, what causes inertia?
Inertia is a property, natural property. We cannot say there's a cause for it. Isn't it? If a body, that incapacity of a body to change its state, that's called inertia. We call that inability of a body. That property we call inertia. We cannot say inertia is caused by something. But inertia depends on mass.
Sir, inertia is resistance, I think so. We can call it resistance.
Inertia is not resistance, is opposing force.
Sir, that is only what happening on us, sir. When we are traveling at high speed, so we are moving back.
Inertia, see, resistance is a force, opposing force. That's a resistance. Inertia is a property of incapacity. The property is incapacity to change its state. Suppose a stone, whether force is there or not, stone, suppose in a space, there is no friction. Okay, space, no gravity, no friction, no air. You just hold the object, just keep there without touching. It will remain there. Is it because of friction? Tell me. If you respond only, I can.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir, I got it, sir.
Yeah, that means it's a property that based on mass. That's what I said. Inertia depends on mass.
Is inertia bad or good for us, sir?
That depends on how we use it. For example, you want to keep a ladder. Some object. For example, some object. See, lighter object may easily fall down. That stability will be less. A heavier object, if you're keeping, that will remain there. It has a more tendency to be stable. So that good or bad we decide depends on our use. For example,
Like
friction.
anchor,
You are confused with the friction.
So, sir, while we are
Friction is advantages as well as disadvantage.
So,
Don't
sir,
confuse inertia with the friction.
So, sir, while we are sleeping, we can feel inertia.
I think you are a little confused with inertia. See, while we are sleeping, why we are feeling inertia? Sleeping is a biological process, right?
No, sir.
How it is related with inertia?
The Earth is moving, sir, but we are stationary, sir. So, in somewhat.
That is it. That's not because of sleeping. Even you are awake, you are moving with the air. You are moving with the earth.
So we can feel inertia while the Earth is moving.
Now we are all moving along with the earth, right?
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, for example, if suppose you are standing here in Jeddah, okay, you are jumping here, okay, then Africa will come under your feet if you are not moving. Then 5-6 times if you jump, you can go around the world.
Okay.
Like if the earth stopped spinning, then you will feel inertia of change of motion.
Let the earth moving. You are in the inertia of motion. What is the speed of the earth? That speed you have. Actually, when you jump, okay, you are going in a parabolic path. Suppose here this is Earth, you are here. Earth is going with 100 meters per second in this direction. For example, I am observing you in outside the Earth. I have suppose no influence on me. I am standing above here. Okay. Suppose you are standing here above. Okay. And you are looking from here. You are an alien and you are looking here. Suppose. Then if you jump from here, okay, Earth moves under your feet. But you are falling here actually. Just like what you have seen in the train. Suppose you are making a vertical. Okay. You are making a vertical motion with 10 meters per second. By the time you go up in 1 second and come back, 100 meters horizontally will travel. So you are falling like this only on the Earth. That means the place you stood, that place will be under your feet again.
Yes, sir.
So for you, you are going up and down. But a person, this alien, he feels you are a projectile.
Okay,
So what
sir.
will happen if the Earth stops rotating?
Earth stop rotating, no issue, you will fall down there only.
Yeah, we will also not have
feel like
velocity.
this person will feel like you are going up and down and coming back. But if Earth is accelerated, situation is different. After jumping, Jeddah will move away from you and some other country will come under Yemen or something will come under you.
Yes.
You understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What you observed in the train like a stone, same way. The
That's
train
it.
is Earth. You are a
Sir, but-
stone. Imagine like that.
Sir, but the train, sir, in high-speed trains, the train's wheels are lifted away from the track, sir. Sir, so why is that, sir?
That is superconductivity, magnetic levitation. That's entirely different process. Magnetic levitation.
That is to reduce friction.
That has no connection with inertia or anything like that. That's called magnetic levitation. It's almost
Sir,
like
can a bullet stop a train?
Which one?
Can a bullet stop a train? Like,
Can a bullet stop a train?
yes, sir, like 0.01 meter per second a train is going with a mass 1,000 kg.
Suppose there's a train traveling with a momentum 1,000 kilogram meter per second. Okay?
Okay,
So
sir.
if you're giving any object of same momentum and hit here, it will stop.
Okay, sir.
Isn't it?
The law of
But
conservation
practically
of
that's not
momentum, right?
possible. Because bullet is such a small body, we have no mechanical machines, to make that much high velocity. Otherwise,
So-
it will stop. It should stop.
Sir, it will most probably pierce through the train, right?
Huh?
It will most probably pierce to the train, right?
Suppose a situation. Suppose train is made up of such a heavy object. That's just a situation, I said. And we are not going to hit a train with a bullet. And we cannot gain that velocity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's to understand. If you can develop, that's all. That's an imaginary idea. If you can develop that velocity, it should stop. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I told you a movie. If you have that one, you can see it's a Speed 2. There is a movie called Speed 2. In that, this momentum explained very well. That means a very big ship, very large ship with a high load in it. It's moving very slowly. So people take it light because that ship is moving very slowly. But when that bang onto the shore, you can see these buildings are collapsed. The reason, high momentum it transferred onto the shore. So that's what that movie explained. That's because of momentum. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This can be an art integration. You can take a small piece of movie and you can edit. You can bring the idea of momentum into it. So some of you form a group and do it. It's very easy. Clear? Because you can cut the clipping from that movies and all. And you can edit.
Sir, I wanted to say roll number 20 present.
So this is the idea of linear momentum. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
There is one problem you will do. For example, that problem also I'll tell you. Suppose here on a mountain, one hunter who stand here with a machine gun. Here, a tree. Okay? Here, a tree. From the tree, a tiger jumps upon him. There is a numeric you will do after this one. A tiger jumps upon him. Velocity, a mass of the tiger 60. velocity is 40 meter per second, for example. This tiger springs at him. With one bullet, he can kill the tiger. But the tiger, after death, it may fall onto him and he will fall from this hill and die. So what he has to do, he has to keep on firing the bullet until this tiger momentum equal to momentum, so that the tiger falls down there only. So there's a question, how many bullets you have to fire? So mass of the bullet is very small. Okay, mass of the bullet into velocity of the bullet into n. If this n into this value equal to momentum of the tiger, tiger will not fall to him. First bullet may kill the tiger, but tiger will fall here. If he is not exerting same momentum, tiger will fall onto his body and this heavy tiger will fall onto him and he will die, that person. Clear? So this is not we are applying. There's a numerical we are doing it. But just wait, have little patience. We are coming to that area. Clear? So anyway, with the bullet, we are not going to stop the train, but these kind of things and all we can do. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Write down now. So momentum, linear moment is a product of mass and velocity. I think it's time, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.